In World War II, the world witnessed a lot of injustice. That's why I'm here at the memorial for the lives of the Jewish people who were killed due to their ethnicity. It was a horrible time of injustice for many around the world, even in America. As you may have learned in school, on December 7th, 1941, the Japanese Navy attacked the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor. This was located in Hawaii. This caused the U.S. to declare war on Japan and join the Second World War. Out of fear that any person of Japanese descent living in America could be a spy, the U.S. government rounded up Japanese Americans who had nothing to do with Pearl Harbor and forced them to move to what they called internment camps. For 3 years, around 120,000 Japanese Americans who called the United States home were held at these camps. Fear can cause a lot of people to do things that they normally wouldn't do. But sometimes we're called to stand in the face of fear and to call out the lies that it tells us. There's 3 men who did just that in the Old Testament. Their names were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. See, there was a Babylonian king named Nebuchadnezzar who was very powerful and had conquered and captured Israel. He built a giant golden statue that stood 90 feet tall and ordered everyone to bow down and worship it. If they chose not to, they would be thrown into a blazing fire. The Bible tells us that these 3 Jewish men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were worshipers of God and refused to bow down to the statue. The king ordered the fire to burn 7 times hotter than usual. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were tied up and thrown into the fire. In a moment of extreme injustice, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did the good work of standing up for what was right. And in the middle of what they were doing, they knew they weren't alone. God did not abandon them or leave them to suffer on their own. If you want to read this story, I encourage you to go to Daniel chapter 3 and do so. In the same way as you do the good work of helping shift bad situations to good, God can make sure that you are never alone when you face injustice. When you experience injustice and stand up for yourself, or when you witness it and stand up for someone else, you don't have to face it alone. God is working with you when you choose to do good work. God cared about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. God cared about their choice to do what was good, standing their ground and standing up for what was right. In the middle of all that, God made sure that they weren't alone in their suffering. Did things change eventually? Yes. Did the laws change as a result of this injustice? Yes. But don't miss what happened while they were suffering. God cared for them. In the same way, God cares about you and doesn't want you to be alone when you face injustice. Please join us this week at Hope as we talk about injustice and the part that we play in it. Have a great week, guys.